So if there's one thing I'm an advocate of, it's developing better strength and conditioning programs for our female athletes. It's something that's been lacking for such a period of time, and there's so many preconceived notions that have been out there for decades that really need to be changed. Females are not fragile. If anything, we're just as strong as men, and we can do just as much weightlifting as we want to. That's something that a lot of females don't understand because it doesn't get taught, and it isn't something that coaches bring up very often. Now, I can tell you the first time I ever really stepped foot in the weight room was in high school. However, to really learn more strength and conditioning principles, it took until the collegiate level for me to really get my hands wet. Now, that's not what I want for female athletes. I want them to become more resilient, better, faster, stronger, earlier on, and throughout the lifespan. I don't just want to talk about young athletes, but I want to talk about athletes of all ages. Whether you're a soccer player in middle school, or whether you're your weekend warrior soccer player, or even just if you like to go to the gym. Those are all things I really want to change. So today, I am going to give 5 exercises that I feel are imperative to be a part of any female athlete's strength and conditioning program. Yes, I said strength and conditioning program, and that's because I feel like it's so important for female athletes to have one to really continue to build resilience and stay healthy over time. So what are these 5 exercises? Well, the reason I include them is because they really do help develop strength, they help develop power, they help us develop improved movement patterns, all things that are so important to kind of becoming a better athlete over time. So exercise 1, the squat. Exercise 2, the deadlift. Exercise 3, a weighted carry. Exercise 4, a multidirectional lunge. And exercise 5, the dreaded arch nemesis of most females, the push-up. And these are all such important exercises to add into a program because they allow us to move our bodies in different ways than what a lot of females normally do. So why did I include the squat? Why did I include the deadlift? That's what's coming next. When we look at these exercises, they're all versatile. They're things that can be changed, they can be modified, and that's such an important part of developing female athlete strength. We need to move in different ways. So for the squat, the reason I included it is there's a lot of different ways it can be modified. We can do a 2-legged squat, we can do a 1-legged squat, we can do a split squat, a rear foot elevated split squat, all things that are just awesome to help develop strength, power, and resilience just with functional activities over time. If you don't necessarily know what a lot of those are, work on just the basic squat. But the most important part, add weights to it. Adding weights is going to help us develop more strength, more power, and also help us improve bone health over time. The squat really helps us develop our leg muscles a little bit more, but what a lot of people don't recognize is it also helps develop core strength and basically the stabilization throughout the human body, all right? Exercise 2, the deadlift, my favorite exercise of all time. I love deadlifting. It is a full body maneuver. It makes you fire every muscle in your body. I said it, almost every muscle in your body. There's 2 that I like to include, the conventional deadlift as well as the Romanian deadlift. When we talk about a conventional deadlift, if I back up here, I'm talking about where you go to the floor, hips are above your knees, and you're pulling dead weight, deadlift, from the floor. The Romanian deadlift is basically knees are slightly bent, you're hip hinging, you're pulling a bar from this position. It is an awesome exercise to develop more strength throughout your posterior chain, your glutes, your hamstrings, and the conventional deadlift does that as well. However, it includes a little bit more strength of the quads and everything else to really propel yourself up. Power, think about power. This is an awesome power generating exercise, awesome to build strength and just more stability over time, right? It's my favorite. I already said that. I could go on about it for days, but learn how to do it. If you don't necessarily know, the first thing I always say is work on your hip hinge, which is just learning how to bend at the hips. It's an awesome step to start to learn how to deadlift. Exercise number 3, a weighted carry. I always make the joke, Have you ever wondered why farmers have superhuman strength? Well, guys, they're carrying all the time. That's why one of the main weighted carries I give is called the farmer's carry. It's a bilateral handed carry. You're carrying two weights. They can be equal or not equal, and you're just walking around with them. This exercise loads your body, okay? It loads your body in ways that kind of we need to do on a daily basis. It also just helps you develop more stability, core strength, works on your balance, works on your movement patterns, and grip strength, okay? Another one that I would also look at is the suitcase carry. The suitcase carry is an awesome exercise to help kind of develop this opposite-sided core strength. The last one I would also add in is an overhead carry. And just a reminder, these carries can be combined. You can do an overhead carry and say this suitcase carry and move and kind of, as I would say, do this a little bit differently. I love using that term. Do things differently. It's important. Carries are going to help you develop strength that you wouldn't get otherwise, so load it up and start doing them more often. Exercise number 4, a multidirectional lunge. We need to move our bodies outside of just forwards and backwards. So that's why I say multidirectional lunging is so important. We all know what a lunge is, and most people think about it forward and backwards. Well, why not add in forward, sideways, backwards, and then also do a curtsy, okay? It's awesome. These are to help you develop balance, power, stability, core stabilization, leg strength. Think about all those things I just listed. It's awesome, okay? Now, the last one, the dreaded push-up. All females technically hate push-ups, but it's one of those things that I feel is such an important exercise to do over time to really help yourself develop more upper body stability and upper body strength. So working on that is one of the things that I say is so important for a female athlete to do. And remember, a push-up can be modified. It can be modified by basically the angle at which it's performed, performing a wall push-up, performing a push-up to a box, performing a push-up to the floor, and then you can even make it harder and elevate your feet. They're all really good ideas to try. So guys, these are my 5 exercises that I would like every female athlete to perfect and perform regularly in a strength training program. So as always, if you have any questions or need guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask.